With PhilsGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to PhilsGang.com. PhilsGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and PhilsGang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
PhilsGang.com. That's PhilsGang.com.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of PhilsGang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at PhilsGang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at PhilsGang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, PhilsGang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, PhilsGang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works. What are you, nuts? 85% of the people do not know how to get out of the market. They lose money because they don't know when to get out. I'm Phil Grandy, PhilsGang.com. I solved that with my Pro 2 color-coded chart. It tells you when to get out. It tells you when to get in, tells you what to add, not to add. Specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, you know, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Rates are higher in the United States because the United States economy has been much stronger than people expected.
Do you believe that, what she just said? I mean, this is insane. This makes no sense at all. Let me play this again.
Part of the equation here is that the economy is doing very well. And you're seeing that on Wall Street. They're all throwing in the towel on their soft landing and recession forecasts.
And then she's saying how strong the economy is.
We have got a strong economy. There's a basic reason why the 10-year is going up in yield. It's because of economic strength.
Unbelievable.
Rates are higher in the United States because the United States economy has been much stronger than people expected.
I think that the fact that the bond yield is where it is today demonstrates as evidence that the economy is remarkably resilient.
This is unbelievable. I mean, the lying is absolutely incredible. They're trying to convince you, take parking space in your head, that when we went from a treasury yield of 1.6%, I'm talking about 10-year treasury yield, from 2008 to 2022, we averaged 1.6%. That's where we're getting mortgages at 2.2%, 2.7%. That's when the economy was exploding, housing was exploding. People were going in refinancing their homes, buying stuff. We had a hell of an economy exploding. It was unbelievable because of those rates, the 10-year treasury. Then you go and you take the 3-month treasury, was 1/6 of 1%, or 1/10 of 1%. 1/10 of 1%. Today it's 5.4%. So think about this. Banks were buying money for, we'll just use a quarter percent from the Fed. And then they're loaning it to businesses, publicly traded companies, talk about them first, so they could buy their own shares. So there'd be less shares outstanding so that the earnings would go up without having to have earnings, which would push up their stock price without having to increase profits. And that's called QE, once illegal. And those yields on that 3-month treasury at 1/10 of 1% is what drove our economy for 12 years, drove the stock market up 1,200%. And 7 stocks is what drove that market up, the big tech stocks. Because by keeping interest rates low, that took big tech stocks and semiconductors and just kept driving them higher. That's where all the wealth came in. The wealth that was incredible for the 1 percentile, trillions of dollars. And then people could, because rates were so low, the banks could borrow money, let's say near 0%, and loan it to you for a car, for a motorcycle, for vacation. Things were booming. Now they're trying to tell you, oh, this is good. That interest, the 10-year treasury yield is no longer at 1.1%, so I can buy homes that get a mortgage at 2.3%, 2.7%. Now I got to pay 7-8% for a home. That's okay. And businesses no longer can borrow money near 0% to buy their own shares to push their stock prices up 1,200% without having to have profits. I mean, this is insane.
We have got a strong economy. There's a basic reason why the 10-year is going up in yield. It's because of economic strength.
No. The reason why the 10-year is going up is because of deficits, because of inflation. That's why. When you keep on printing money, and you keep on, borrowing money, and you keep on spending more money than you take in, that's how you create inflation. Those are called deficits. There's only one reason why we have terrible inflation, gas prices, food prices, still terrible, is because the government keeps spending more money than they take in. And when you have inflation, they have to raise rates to fight that inflation. That's why the rates keep going up, because the government keeps spending more money than it takes in. And every time you do that, inflation goes up. Then they have to print more money. Print more money to try to get that inflation down. This is crazy. I mean, the things they say is just, it doesn't make it, but people believe them. People believe them. That is just absolutely insane, what they're saying right now. So we're seeing the market is struggling. Why? Because when you have 10-year Treasury yields going up to 4.2%, and you have 3-month Treasury yields up at 5%, the big institutions, they're not going to buy stocks. They know what this means, a crash. They know a crash is coming. I mean, when you have these kind of rates, I mean, you think the housing market is going to boom? The housing market's not going to go anywhere. Matter of fact, the housing market is ready to collapse. It's right. It's ready to collapse. So the market, the other day, all of a sudden they started seeing these tech stocks going up. Oh, this is it. The market's going to go back up now. Tech stocks. No, that's called a snapback. There's no rally here. You have a bunch of people going in that we call tourist investors, don't know what they're doing. They're going back into the same tech stocks that pulled back, called buying on a dip, and they think they're going to get rich. No, they're going to get squashed, because anytime you got a trend going down where the stock keeps going down lower and lower and lower, just like what happened with Enron, right before the Enron, just as the Enron was crashing, every time the stock went down lower, everybody was yelling, buy on a dip, buy on a dip, buy on a dip. It was crazy, because when you buy on a dip in a downtrend, it keeps on going down. And you keep losing money. You keep losing money. But that's what they're doing now. This is exactly what happened right before the last crash. They're all buying on the dip. And when you start doing that, and the trend is on the way down, you're just going to keep losing money. But people don't realize that. And they keep on buying. And you keep hearing the fake Business News Network. That's all they keep talking about. Buying a dip, buying a dip. Because they're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to say to you, gee, you better not buy on the dip. That's bad. I mean, if you buy on the dip, you're going to get in worse trouble. The only time you buy on the dip is when you are having an uptrend and the economy's doing great and the stock market's doing great. That's when you buy on the dip, not on a downtrend. I mean, this is unbelievable, the stuff they're saying. So I hope you don't believe it, because if you're buying on a dip, especially if you're buying tech stocks right now on the dip, you're going to get crushed. I'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026. Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
The feds have raised interest rates again. And AI is the topic of the day. No matter what the financial headlines are, be a successful investor with Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Take advantage of the free 10-day trial for the Working Investor Program. Phil Grandy has put together the tools you need to understand the stock market, with full access to the Phil's Gang website and access to Phil's Pro 2 color-coded charting software. Know with confidence when to buy, sell, and short a stock. Members also have access to Coffee Talk. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern, Phil Grandy talks about what's happening on Wall Street that day. Want to be a better investor? Then take advantage of the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. You'll find many more features and tools for the working investor. After the trial, it's just $59.95 a month for membership. Invest with the best. Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. This is absolutely nuts what they're trying to sell you. And here's another guy right now. Here's what he's saying.
I think that the fact that the bond yield is where it is today demonstrates as evidence that the economy is remarkably resilient.
Well, why don't you ask anybody that's holding a bond how resilient they feel? They're getting killed. Most people don't even know what a bond is, never mind a bond yield. Bond is interest. Interest. And why do you think, this is amazing, they're trying to tell you, boy, these high bond yields, now they're at 5.44, the 3-month Treasury, instead of 1/10 of 1%. And the 10-year, instead of 1.6%, it's now at 4.29%. Oh, that's good. That's telling us we're in really good shape. No. Remember what happens. Biden comes in, and he starts spending like crazy. Remember, inflation's created by one thing alone. When your government is spending more money than it takes in. Inflation's cruel. The only thing that's as cruel as inflation is taxing us on our work, on our income. At the end of each week, we get taxed on our labor. That is cruel. Inflation is cruel because that takes money right out of our pockets like a tax. Why do you think they did QE in 2008 to 2012? Why do you think they printed money to go in and buy 10-year treasuries to drive the yields on that 10-year treasury from 5% down to 1.6%? So they could start shoving money into the banks so the banks can loan money on homes so we'd have a housing boom. Now we have no housing boom. Housing has stopped, and they're trying to tell you we have a resilient economy because housing stopped. Home sales have stopped. We have a resilient economy because you used to be able to get a loan for 2.9%. That really sucked. But now you can get a loan for 7%, and we should celebrate because that means it's a strong economy? These people are crazy. So what happens? So Powell comes into office, and he's going to cut back on everything that Trump did. So what's the first thing he does? He comes in with the American Rescue Plan, which is, by the way, mostly responsible for our 40-year high inflation. There's no need for this bill at that time because when he came in, Trump handed to him an economy that was in recovery. Trump took a 15% unemployment and drove it down to 6%. But Biden, no, he hated Trump. He was going to cancel everything he did, including the border. And so what's he do? He extends the unemployment benefits for 6 months when Trump already dropped the unemployment from 15% to 6%. How stupid could you be? Like taking a fire and putting gasoline on it. He's nuts. So he extends unemployment benefits for 6 months. Then he's providing payments to individuals $1,400 each, in addition to payments of $600 that he gave them back in that December. And then what did he do? If you were getting an unemployment check from the state for $500 a week, he matched it with another $500 from the government. He was driving inflation back up. So what do you do to try to get this inflation down? You try to stop spending, but he wouldn't stop spending. So then you start spending more than you take in. That creates inflation. Now, those deficits, when you're spending more than you take in, those deficits have to be paid. You can't just put it on a credit card. So Powell prints money to pay for those deficits that were created by spending more money than the tax revenue coming in by this idiot. So Powell prints money to pay the deficits. That's inflationary because you printed money. Now he's sitting there and he's got to combat that new inflation that he created from printing money. So he's got to combat that new inflation. How does he do it? He raises rates. He raises the yields. Once again, causing the dollar to get devalued. That's negative for the market. That's negative for our companies who sell 25 to 60% of their income comes from overseas. So what these guys are saying, oh, this is good that the 10-year Treasury yield is no longer at 1.6%, but it's great, it's at 4.2%. And now our companies can't export anything. Our companies overseas, all our companies, most of our companies, 60% of their incomes come from overseas, or 25 to 60%. But now they're not getting that income because we can't sell our goods, because we can't compete. And they're saying, oh, this is good. Things are good. Oh, boy, are we good? This is great. The 10-year Treasury yield's up there. This is insane. Why do you think they always cheat? They never tell us the truth, what inflation really is. They're a pack of liars. They've been changing the way they adjust for inflation since 1970. That's right. If they didn't make any of those changes to measure inflation that started in 1970, and they changed it again during the 80s, and they changed it during the 90s, and they changed it secretly during the 2000s. If they didn't ever change those, and we use the same formula today that they used back in 1970, before they made that first change, inflation is not 3%, it's 10%. So every time you hear inflation is 3%, it's a lie. It's 10%. And you know that when you go get gasoline. You know that when you go buy groceries. Why do you think? If having inflation high, which means yields are high, that means the country's resilient, strong, then why do they lie to us then? If that was the case, why would they lie to us about what the real rate of inflation is?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. When the stock market is volatile, how do you invest intelligently?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's no need for you to be panicking in a market that goes up 800 points one day, 700 points, then it goes down again. All you need is good advice, need good direction. You don't get that from your CNBC and the Fox Business and all these crazy shows. You don't. Here's what you get from them. Thank you, Jim Cramer. But this is something that this really bugs me. Listen to this.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What? Their responsibility is to their partners and shareholders and not to you? Check my site out, philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need the experience of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What a difference it makes in your financial life. philsgang.com. It works.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Hey, do you think anybody got together and said, hey, let's put a narrative together and we'll fool everybody?
I think that the fact that the bond yield is where it is today demonstrates as evidence that the economy is remarkably resilient.
We have got a strong economy. There's a basic reason why the 10-year is going up in yield. It's because of economic strength.
Rates are higher in the United States because the United States economy has been much stronger than people expected.
Do you think they got together? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why do you think they lie to us about inflation? Well, I'm going to tell you after I look at some stocks. I mean, what? You mean they always lie to us about inflation? They never give us a true inflation number. But let's go and take a look at all this buy on the dip, see how they made out. Do you remember Enron? When Enron was going down, they told you buy on the dip, buy on the dip. My gang, we were shorting Enron. We don't buy on dips on a downtrend. That's ridiculous. You want to lose money? The way you make money in downtrends, when the market is trending down, there's more sellers than there's buyers. You never buy on that dip. You'll get killed. So we had all these tourists go in yesterday and buying the tech stocks again. How stupid. If you wanted to buy on the dip on Apple, and we've been in Apple, we did very well on our Apple stock. We got in around January, then we got in around March. And so I'll give you an example. So when the stock went from $151 up to about $161, it pulled back to about $157. So we added to our position on that pullback. Then it went up to around $166. It pulled back again to $160. We added on that dip. Now, why do we keep adding on the dips? Because the dips keep going higher. You're in an uptrend. So when they pull back, it's pulling back at a higher point than the last time. That's giving you strength. So you buy on dips that are pulling back higher than the previous time. These morons are telling you to buy on a dip when the trend is going down. So if you bought on a dip at 177 and then it went up to 179, it pulled back now to 173. Then you're going to buy at 173? Wait a minute. You first bought at 176. It went up, didn't work, now it came back down. Now you're going to buy at 172, it goes up, then it stops, and it's going to come back down to 170. So you keep buying at 176, 172, 160. That's insane. That's insane. And why is it that the stock market goes down? Because the institutions, the smart money, are not buying. Your 401k mutual funds, not buying. Your pension funds are not buying. Your hedge funds are not buying. Your insurance companies are not buying. They represent the folks. They represent the big people. They represent the teachers union, the steel workers. They don't buy on dips. They buy on dips on the way up. So now yesterday, everybody jumps into these, to Apple. Think, oh, I'm going to get a good buy on Apple. No, you're not going to get a good buy on Apple. You missed it. You should have bought Apple with us when it was at 142. You don't buy it at 177 on a dip going down. You buy it at 142, and then you got out at 195. But what these people are doing is, it's at 195, then it goes down to 189. Then they buy it at 189. And then it goes up, instead of 195, it goes up to 190, and then it falls all the way back to 185. They buy it again at 185, goes up, comes all the way back to 175. Then they buy it again. I mean, geez, how stupid could that be? But that's what they tell you to do. You should be shorting that side of the market. They just never tell you the truth. And again, as I said a moment ago, if it was true that with these yields going from 1.6% to 4.29%, if that was something wonderful, then why from 2008 to 2012, when it used to do that, they printed money, went in and bought treasuries like crazy to drop those treasury yields back down to get the short-term Fed rate down to zero. If what they're saying now is true, they would have never done that. Unbelievable. So going back to inflation, why do they always lie about inflation? By the way, if this is a critical time for you in the stock market, but it's also an excellent time in the stock market. This is where you're finally going to make money when the market keeps going down. And it's going to keep going down. And when you get in this downtrend, I don't care how many times it rallies back up, it's going to keep going back down because the institutions aren't there to buy. See, it's the institution that makes the market resilient, What the 10-year Treasury yield is telling you when it keeps going up, it's telling you danger. When the Treasury yields are inverted as they are, it's telling you we're in a recession. Just the opposite of what they're telling you. So this market could be a wonderful market for you if you know how to sell short. So going back to inflation, the importance of inflation can't be understated. Now, it's caused, as we know, by one thing only: the government spending more money than tax receipts. Now, what they do is they continue to adjust to keep hiding the true rate of inflation. They've been doing that since the 70s, right up to where we are today. Now, what they do, if you go to the first time before the 70s, how they gave you the correct inflation was if you had meat was at $10 and there was another upgrade at $15. If you had a car, you could buy it $36,000 or to $50,000, or clothing you could buy at $15 up to $25. What they would do is take the high end and give you that inflation, which is, let's say you could buy meat at $10 or $15, or a car at $36,000 or $50,000, or clothing at $15 or $25. They would take the higher side and your inflation would be 10%. Today, what they do is the opposite. they substitute so the inflation's 3.2%, which is a lie. So what they do is the opposite. And guess who started that? A young senator by the name of Biden. That's right. Not him alone, because he's too stupid. But he and a bunch of guys, they're the ones that came out with the idea. Let's tweak this so that we can screw the recipients out of Social Security. Give you an idea. There's 66 million people on Social Security. If a person is getting $1,000 a month on Social Security, if they were right now being honest and calculating the true rate of inflation instead of screwing you, you'd be getting $2,200 a month instead of $1,000. That's why they screwed you, because senators, a young senator by the name of Biden, and some other senators got together and said, look, we don't want to give the Social Security people cost of living. Let's give people on food stamps less money, government workers less money, military retirees, government work retirees. Let's cut all that back on them. And then we got more money that we can go home and we can buy votes with. We can bring money home, build ice skating rinks. We can build golf courses back home. And so when we get that money is we'll screw all the Social Security recipients, food stamp recipients, government retirees, military retirees, we'll screw all of them. That's how they get it.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth. You get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock, Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. To join my gang, go to philsgang.com, sign up where it says Get Started. And you're going to learn how the market really works. For 10 days, it doesn't cost you a thing. And you're going to learn that what they're telling you right now, they are lying through their teeth. They're so desperate right now, telling you the economy is good because we got higher yields. Well, let me ask you, if that was true, then why is it when the 10 years at 4.2% and the 3 months at 5.4%, that's an inverted yield curve. That means recession. It's never wrong. But they're saying, oh, that's good now. Never mind. Don't even think about that recession stuff. Are you kidding? And again, they keep lying on inflation because how they count inflation is through substitution. It's not the way it used to be. Our real inflation number right now, if we did it the way before they tweaked it, going back to 70 when it was pure, if you used the same thing right now, our economic growth would be negative. That's right. Our economic growth would be negative. We're not even growing. Here they're trying to tell us we're growing at 2.4%. Not true. So what do you do in the stock market? Well, it gives you an opportunity. And what's really interesting, the stocks that everybody's buying on the dip are the stocks that are going to be the worst ones. So everybody, just think about this. You had 7 stocks driving the S&P. 7. Take 500 stocks. You only got 7 stocks that drove that whole S&P. And if you took the 5, I'm talking about the first 6 months. Let's talk about the first 6 months. So we had about a 22% return. If we pulled just 5 of those stocks out, we'd only be up 1.5%. So all this money that they borrowed to buy treasuries so the Fed could get their yields down to 0, so they give the money to corporations almost free so they could reduce their own stock shares outstanding that artificially pushes up their earnings with no earnings and their stock price with no profit. That's the biggest bubble ever. I told you yesterday, they create these bubbles on purpose. So the stocks right now that are going up, like the tech, you got all these people going in buying Apple. They're buying Microsoft, all on severe downtrends. You just watch Microsoft for the next few days. Watch when it went up from a low of 311.55 to where it is today. The high today was 326.08. Watch the next couple of days how that's going to come down and make another low. All these stocks are going to make new lows because they all snap back on downtrends. That's what you're going to learn as a gang member. So you're going to be shorting these. You're not going to be buying them. You're not going to buy these stocks. In fact, if you go to Instagram or if you go to YouTube, I do a little short segment, it's a minute long, and I'm explaining why yesterday that, and it's free, yesterday, why that snapback is a fake. It's a fake snapback. People are going to get killed. And they'll keep snapping these back until the big insurance companies, until the pension funds get the teachers' unions out, the steel workers out, the auto workers out of the market. It's going to keep going on. And you're going to be part of that. You're going to be helping them to push this stock up. If you're going to be part of one of these tourists, you don't want to be part of the tourists. And just like everybody's jumping into, boy, if you want to be safe, go to all the safe stocks, like Coke and Clorox. Everybody needs Clorox. Go to all these defensive stocks. Have you seen them? They're getting clobbered. There's nowhere to go hide. Why do you want to hide? Just short. You make more money faster shorting. You want to always be going in the same direction of the money. Our color-coded chart, and you'll see that over 10 days. It don't cost you a penny. It's free. The color-coded chart always directs you in the right direction. So if you go to right now or after the show or tonight, go to Instagram or go to YouTube, and they call them short segments. They're just little 1-minute segments. I do a whole explanation on it. You should check it out. So did you see what's going on? The Republicans are now proposing to finish building the wall. Isn't that amazing? The amount of steel and that fence is laying on the ground, just wasting. All that. Trump had to beg for $4 billion to build that border. To stop countless and countless of illegals coming over. Now look what's going on. So now that Biden got wind that they're going to start, Republicans are now proposing to get all that material that's sitting. And by the way, you and I are paying these. I don't know what the number is, but let's use the number that we were paying them $2 million a week to build the wall. They still get paid $2 million a week to build the wall. It's a contract we have with them. This idiot Biden is still paying them $2 million to build the wall, but they're not building. They're at home. They're getting paid. This is how stupid this man is. So Republicans are now proposing to finish building this wall. So what does he do? He has the government go and hire an auction company to start selling the wall, the material, pennies on the dollar. So what's he championing? He wants hundreds and hundreds of these people, thousands of these people. He wants them to come over the border so he can kill our middle class. He's going to keep giving them handouts instead of hand up. Wants to keep getting handouts to assure them, look, vote Democratic. You'll keep getting your handouts. You don't have to go to work. And this is what they're doing. This is what happened in Cuba. This is what happened in Venezuela. This is what they do. But isn't this a shame? You and I paid for that material. It's sitting on the ground. Unbelievable. There's $300 million of material sitting on the ground that we can finish that wall. And Biden now has got this auction company to go and auction this stuff. Then say one piece was $1,000. He's selling it for 22 cents. He's selling it for 22 cents to this auction company because he doesn't want the wall built. Look, the stock market. I know you've all been married to Apple and Microsoft and Meta and NVIDIA. NVIDIA now is a big day tomorrow. They're reporting tomorrow. Who knows what they're going to do. But it's over. It's over. Because once you remember what drove these tech stocks? QE. To try to get the 3-month treasury as close to zero as you can, the banks. So the whole idea was to print money to go buy 10-year treasuries. The government would buy all these 10-year treasuries to get the yields from 5% down to 1.6%. So then the Federal Reserve could take their yields that they're in charge of, the short ones, the 3-month ones, and could drive it down to 0.1% from 5%. And that's what drove this. And then they could give this money to the companies near zero so they could buy their own stock. That's over. It's over. You had, if you were with us in NVIDIA, you should have bought NVIDIA with us when nobody wanted it on January 17th to January 20th. We bought it near 180, and we got out somewhere, I think it was near 461. We did the same thing with Meta. We got in Meta, it was near December, January. We got in around 121, and then we got out somewhere around 310. We got in all these tech stocks. So we're not going to be buying these now on dips. We're going to keep selling them short on dips until the 10-year Treasury yield changes. With the 10-year Treasury yield at 5.4%, and you're buying stocks? Are you nuts? This is what they want you to do. See, they're losing money. All these brokerage houses are losing money. They're getting killed. Their clients who own bonds that they told them, you better have 60% bonds so you're safe. They're in the food line. All these people holding bonds, they're eating the paper. They're saying to their wife, pass me the salt and pepper. I need it for that piece of paper, the bond paper. I'm going to eat the bond paper. You want some of my bond paper? You hungry? Here, I'll give you some of my bond paper. This is unbelievable. Join my gang free for 10 days.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.